Welcome to Thinking on Chain, the podcast that unchains your thinking. This is a space where ideas stretch, breathe, and break free from the ordinary. I'm your host, Byron. If you would like to read today's essay or download a PDF version, you will find it at my website, thinkingonchain.com. I am grateful you have decided to join me. The title of today's essay is We Cast Our Algorithms, the Algorithmic Shadow. It follows you. It needs you. It will not leave. Who or what recommended that product, that podcast, that article, that video, or that song to you? Was it a friend who senses the drift of your interests? A family member who has watched your curiosities unfurl over years? Or was it something less personal and somehow more intimate? The algorithm that has observed you with patience no human could bear, registering every click, hesitation, and lingering gaze, tracing the negative space of your attention with mathematical devotion. And if it was the algorithm, what follows from that? That it knows you better than your friends, better than your family, better perhaps than you dare to know yourself? Or is the truth stranger still? That the algorithm is not a knower at all, but a silhouette made of your past choices, a shadow cast by the person you have been willing to enact? Not who you are, and certainly not who you might become, but only the sum of your rehearsed preferences, your accumulated gestures, your history mistaken for destiny. Every preference you reveal, each like or dislike, every purchase and every return becomes a small star in a growing constellation. The seconds you linger on a video, the minutes you surrender to a story, the hours you spend wandering through articles and reels, all of it is gathered, weighed, and woven into a pattern. What you share, what you repeat, what you amplify, these two are signals. Together, they form an algorithmic shadow, a second self that trails behind you, learning from your impulses, anticipating your desires, whispering suggestions before you know you want them. You cultivate it with every decision and selection, and in turn, it shapes the field of choices laid before you. You feed it, and it feeds you back. Sometimes with what you long for, sometimes with what you merely tolerate, sometimes with what you once glanced at in passing. Over time, this shadow becomes a kind of reminder, not of who you are, but of who you have been willing to be in moments of distraction, curiosity, or craving. And like all shadows, it can refine or distort. It can grow with your desires, or it quietly narrow with them. The question it leaves you with is simple and unsettling. Are you shaping your algorithmic shadow, or is the shadow shaping you? Algorithms are not new. They have existed for as long as supply and demand have danced their ancient dance. Long before code, long before data streams, there were merchants tallying their ledgers, weighing grain, counting coins. Those early algorithms were slow and human shaped. A shopkeeper taking inventory at the end of a week, a farmer noting which crops sold fastest, a trader remembering which seasons brought abundance or scarcity. So, in a broader sense, algorithms have not merely shaped us individually, they have shaped the world. They have shown the world's desires back to us with ruthless precision. We ask for cheaper goods, and the world delivered them through the hidden hands of exploited labor. We craved richer flavors, and the world answered with foods engineered for addiction, fat, salt, and sugar arranged like a code written directly into our appetites. What we consume today is not an accident. It is the accumulated echo of our past choices, amplified by systems that learn from our cravings and feed them back to us. The marketplace is not a neutral force, it is a memory, an algorithmic reflection of what we have rewarded with our attention, our money, and our hunger. In the end, we are sold what we have already chosen again and again until the pattern becomes indistinguishable from fate. These were algorithms measuring heartbeats and harvests. Patterns infer from memory, intuition, and the quiet arithmetic of lived experience. They reveal trends not for the next hour, but for the next year. They were imperfect, imprecise, and deeply human. What has changed is not the existence of algorithms, but their speed, their scale, and their intimacy. The old ones watch markets, the new ones watch you. The algorithms did not suddenly appear in the digital age, they merely quickened. Their growth surged the moment the barcode was invented. With that small pattern of lines, so ordinary now as to be invisible, stores could finally stitch supply and demand together in something close to real time. What once required a week's tally or a month's intuition could now be known in a single scan. Shelves spoke to warehouses, warehouses spoke to suppliers, and the old, lumbering rhythm of inventory gave way to a pulse measuring days, then hours. The barcode was not just a tool of commerce, it was an early hinge in the history of attention, an inflection point where human judgment ceded ground to automated pattern finding. The merchant's memory was replaced by a machine's memory. The slow arithmetic of experience gave way to the rapid calculus of data. And from that moment on, the algorithms began to grow, not only in speed, but in ambition. They no longer tracked markets alone, they began quietly to track us. Now the algorithms are instant. They no longer wait for weekly ledgers or daily tallies. They respond in the time it takes for a finger to hover over a screen. And they do not know only you, they know the statistical silhouette of people who share your age, your gender, your ethnicity, your faith, your habits of desire and avoidance. The moment you click or even hesitate, the system has already placed you inside a constellation of others who resemble you. Your choice becomes one more data point in a vast, humming network of correlations. And before you have fully registered what you have done, the algorithm is already preparing your next recommendation, anticipating your next gesture, nudging you your next preference. It feels like foresight, but it is only pattern. It feels like intimacy, but it is only inference. It feels like freedom, but it is only momentum. The algorithm does not predict who you will become. It predicts who you are most likely to remain. If you were to turn around and study your algorithmic shadow, what shape will it take? Will it be an amusing silhouette stitched together from funny cat videos and fleeting amusements? Will it shimmer with the movements of countless strangers, people of every age, gender, size, culture, and identity dancing their dances across your screen? Will it be cluttered with products you already own too many of, a kind of digital echo of your overfull closets and half forgotten desires? Or will it reveal something subtler, a composite of your impulses, your curiosities, your boredom, your longing? A shadow not cast by your body, but by your habits, an outline drawn by everything you have clicked, hovered over, or almost chosen? Is your algorithmic shadow whispering judgments about you, smart or foolish, educated or ignorant, curious or conspiratorial, joyful or depressed? Does it reflect you as funny, happy, sad, restless, or resigned? And if it does, is that judgment real or merely the echo of your past clicks arranged into a story the machine mistakes for truth? Can you change it, reshape it, bend its outline into something new? Yes, but only by defying its expectations, only by choosing something it did not predict. by stepping outside of the grooves your past behaviors carve for you. To surprise the algorithm is to reclaim a sliver of freedom. To choose against your own momentum is to remind the machine and yourself that you are not reducible to your history. The power of the shadow, how dark it grows, how vast it becomes, comes from you. Every click, every choice, every moment of passive ascent fits it. The algorithmic shadow is not an oppressor, it is an accomplice you have quietly nourished. To reclaim control, you must reclaim your gestures. Choose with intention, click with awareness, say no to the shadow's easy recommendations, the ones that nudge you along the path of least resistance. And when you sense the subtle pull, the quiet conspiracy to steer you in a single direction, step sideways. Seek a different path. Make a choice that startles the system, that breaks the pattern, that reminds both you and the machine that your future is not bound to your past. Your algorithmic shadow should stay behind you and never be allowed to lead you. Freedom begins in the smallest defiance. Just keep in mind, it follows you, it needs you, it will not leave. Thank you.